direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Aborted babies incinerated to heat UK hospitals. Soylent Green, ladies and gentlemen, is made out of people.
But now children are literally being passed through the furnace in order to fuel hospitals in the UK. They're being sacrificed on the altar of efficiency and prosperity.
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
The powdered flesh from dead babies. Some people believe they can cure disease.
Because of its enormous popularity, Soylent Green is in short supply. Remember, Tuesday is Soylent Green Day.
The supply of Soylent Green has been exhausted. You must evacuate the area. Today is Tuesday!
The federal court ruled that the shareholders of PepsiCo, big Bilderberg Group company, are not allowed to know what they're using the baby parts for in the flavoring, but we already know. So enjoy the flavor.
We're going to get the real solution, which is going to be a combination of death panels and sales taxes.
I'm consistently pro-death. I'm for assisted suicide. I'm for regular suicide. I'm for whatever gets the freeway moving.
Is spending $1 million on that last 3 months of life for that patient, would it be better not to lay off those 10 teachers and to make that trade-up in medical costs? But that's called the death panel, and you're not supposed to have that discussion.
They told me to say that they were sorry, but that you had become unreliable.
Is this the kind of society that you want to live in? Any kind of society that would do this to its children will do it to its senior citizens. It will do it to its dissidents. That kind of society will also eventually turn on its police, on its army, on its prison guards, on the quislings and the collaborators who make that possible. This is nothing but a suicide cult.
The scoops are on their way. The scoops are on their way. I repeat, the scoops are on their way.
You will find out why Soylent Green means life. You will find out why Soylent Green means death.
We gotta stop him!
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Soylent Green is people!
We're told by Vice President Joe Biden that we need to just allow any children in the world to come here, and they're all our children, and that we have to pay for them and let them be wards of the state, to be political operatives and voters to bring us into slavery to a greater degree. But then they do everything they can to kill babies before they're born. And the globalists do everything they can to stop the industrialization of the third world and to keep people in squalor. They are the last individuals to have some fake moral high ground, but that's the weapon they used on the ill-informed, sappy Western population, who is tragically hip and tragically ignorant, and in most cases aren't even conscious human beings, in my view now. The globalists have turned them into the dehumanized vessels that they wanted all along. They have been turned into artificially conscious biological androids, as I call them. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday, 8/8. It was back in 2008 on 8/8 when the Olympics kicked off that they tried to take Russian-held areas of Georgia since the end of World War II and start a war. That failed. The globalists have been more successful in Ukraine. That does not mean, again, Russia is some paragon of goodness. They're now coming in with the Internet ID in Russia, something the communist Chinese have and something Obama wants. So there's our precious Pootie Poot doing things like that. We've got a big broadcast obviously lined up for you today. My cousin, Buckley Hammond, will be in studio coming up at the bottom of the hour. He grew up in Guatemala. He's a Guatemalan citizen, dual citizenship with the U.S., speaks fluent Spanish. He can tell you what the wondrous third world is like and what our children, because they're ours, they don't belong to Guatemala. They belong to you. You're going to pay for them. And then they're also going to be wards of the state Then Mark Dice is going to pop in with a bunch of new stuff he's been working on, media commentator. And then a libertarian running for office in Texas who's a really smart lawyer is going to be joining us as well in studio. This is Alex Jones for InfoWarsLife.com. The latest in preparedness is now here. An electrically stabilized colloidal silver solution that can be added to both your home cabinet and preparedness pack alike. Concentrated to 30 parts per million in what has been dubbed the survival silver solution. The new InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver is the answer for you and your family. And it's entirely free of toxic artificial additives that are loaded into many products. The InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Silver is so powerful that it is concentrated into a 2-ounce bottle and is not recommended for extended continual use. This is not a low-grade formula. We are working with one of the top laboratory manufacturers in the United States to bring you the best form of colloidal silver using electrical processes within a base of deionized water for your preparedness storage or your home kitchen. Purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com.
This is Leanne McAdoo for InfoWarsLife.com. I'm here with Dr. Edward Group, Master Herbologist and Chief Formulator behind the InfoWars Life products. Dr. Group, what have you been hearing from women who've started taking Super Female Vitality?
You know, we've heard the reviews and feedback from Super Male Vitality, from emails to even excited callers on the radio. Now, the answer for women is here. A new formulation specifically designed for the female body, Super Female Vitality, delivers 10 key herbs that work synergistically to revitalize the unique biology of women.
I'm so glad that you guys made this for women. When he brought me home the bottle of Super Female, I had tons of energy, tons of motivation, a lot of drive. My husband thinks I've been in a better mood. Our relationship, all I can say is it's a lot better now.
I've just started taking Super Female Vitality from InfoWarsLife.com. Supplies are limited, so secure yours today at InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or dial 1-888-253-3139.
City of Austin tap water versus filtered City of Austin tap water.
I can taste dirt in it.
God knows what's in this.
These people just sampled City of Austin tap water straight from the faucet. Next, we had them try a sample of tap water filtered with the ProPure G2.0 filtration system.
That one is better.
Tastes like nothing.
Yep, I know what good water tastes like. It's good water.
Most tap water contains added substances like fluoride, chlorine, glyphosate, and many others. Studies prove that these substances are linked to an assortment of major health issues, including tooth decay, lowered IQ, and even cancer.
It tastes like you're drinking out of the lake when you're drinking tap water.
The ProPure G2.0 filtration system removes these deadly substances, leaving only fresh-tasting, deliciously clean water.
Okay, this is very tasty.
It's good water.
Refreshing.
It's good.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com today. Use promo code WATER and save 10% off your ProPure purchase. Or call 1-888-253-3139.
Crashing through the lies and disinformation. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on this 8th day of August, 2014. This is our live Friday edition. I will be in studio this Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central, live from the Infowars.com News Center, deep in the heart of Texas, coming to you from FEMA Region 6, from Austin. Wow, where to begin yet again? Mark Dice, media commentator with a lot of breaking intel, is joining us. We also have other guests coming on later in the transmission as well. My cousin, Buckley Hammond, will be in studio. He was born and grew up in Guatemala. He has dual Guatemalan citizenship. And I thought you should hear from him just the stories of living in Guatemala, I guess, till he was 6 or 7 years old. And just routinely, the market being blown up, cars being machine gunned off the road, his brother kidnapped. This is what it's like to live in a middle-class area with your own property in Guatemala. So we're going to hear all about that coming up. And, of course, Joe Biden says all children in the world are our children. He means Democratic Party's children. and they must be brought into the state, raised by the state, and given positions in the state. They are that national security force, just as big, just as strong as our military, and a bunch of White House-run Democratic Party websites and news services came out when I talked about that a few weeks ago with our guest who was on air and said, oh, look how crazy they are, claiming these kids are a political force to take over like a Hitler Youth. That's in the future. And that's what major political scientists at UC Davis and others are saying. But more importantly, that's what the Ford Foundation said back in the 60s they were going to do with Henry Ford's money after he'd been gone a while, was to break the country up and do just what's happening. We've been warning of it. So we've got all the latest news on that. A clip coming up. Border Patrol agent, senior agent, these people are coming here to do horrible things. And that integrates in with another clip. Mainstream media says Americans against wide open borders are anti-immigration. No, we just don't want to lose our citizenship and become total vassals of this new world order. Just like I'm against this Pacific Treaty, this Asian Pacific Treaty that's got 30 parts, only one part's been released that ends internet freedom. And it allows corporations that run the treaty and are setting up the new global government to merge with the EU and the North American Union to control everything. And the treaty is secret. By the way, Australians, in their news at least, are freaking out about this and just put a new government in. And are repealing the carbon tax. And I'm not saying there's some paragon, but because they've gone deeper down the rat hole in some ways than we have under globalism, but they're freaking out over their government secretly signing on to treaties that they're not allowed to see. I mean, that is the definition of a totalitarian system. And they boil it down to, oh, you don't like children, huh? There you go. There's the headline. Boom. July 17th, Australia becomes first developed nation to repeal carbon tax. He pledged to get rid of it last year. He got elected in a landslide. And the system already taps his phone and knows this, but I have it from 3 different high-level sources that their new leader in Australia wants to restore their Second Amendment, their right to guns, is anti-New World Order, and wants prosperity for their country the old-fashioned way. Just got chills, folks. Very exciting to have closet info warriors out there all over the place who are not going to put up with this garbage anymore, who aren't going to pay the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and the UN their carbon tax, who want prosperity like America used to want. These victories get me so excited because we can turn this around. I still know we can. Yes, the West is corrupt. Yes, the world is declining. Yes, there's a lot of problems, but we've got to try to fix things because it's too serious if we let the full collapse happen. It's too horrible. And we've got to struggle even in the collapse so that people know we struggled and we tried to fix things. So we build systems at a micro level that can be duplicated to try to restore civilization, restore honor, and an age of chivalry to go to the stars. And to let our children and grandchildren enjoy the true fruits of technology, the life extension, and to allow all this high tech to develop true transparency and culture. And it could be a new golden age, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of the globalist, new age, dark age, counterfeit system of total enslavement. See, the New World Order always has counterfeits within counterfeits, and I'm going to get to all the huge news. The Illuminati, founded in the 1770s, was set up long before 1776. In Germany and France, on record, is a real organization, real society. And it has vestigial organizations today that I'm going to break down here in a moment. But they went out, and of course, a letter carrier got struck with lightning with high-level, decompartmentalized, command-level orders from Adam Weishaupt for Illuminati leaders in Germany and France, only about 14 of them, to pose as freedom lovers, to pose as people that wanted to bring in a system of renaissance, to pose as folks that wanted to overthrow the corrupt monarchies, when in truth, all Adam Weishaupt and others wanted was to overthrow the existing order to bring in their order of 1984 literal total oppression.